Hey everybody, how's it going? Ron and Don here, and we are going to discuss some of the albums that we didn't review before our channel got started,
Yeah.
or just some that we haven't talked about or reviewed. We're just going to touch upon those. So, Evan, you want to start?
Yeah. So one of the albums that stood out to me this year is a new band that I found called Moaning, and it's their first and their self-titled album. So this band is really kind of on that kind of heavy reverby vocal, and
Yeah.
it's different. It's a really nice listen. They have a lot of catchy songs. But yeah, it's really unique, and they did a really good job for their first album.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. So here's three albums that I really enjoyed. There's one by a band called Hookworms. The album's called Microshift. So this is kind of like a weird progressive rock electronic kind of fusion, with some really weird lyrics, but some really good and catchy hooks and melodies, and some really good instrumentation. So if you're into that, like progressive electronic rock, then you're gonna dig that record. Another would be the Black Panther compilation.
Yes.
A lot of good artists on that, a lot of catchy songs, a lot of fat, awesome beats, and a lot of memes with Future. So, it's really good. It's worth a listen. And another one would be Car Seat Headrest Twin Fantasy Reboot, because this was his first album that he put out on Bandcamp in 2011. And he just remade the whole thing because Matador gave him like full creative direction. So he just remade the whole album. Sounds great. A lot of long songs, a lot of like surf rock, but like I don't know. It's pretty indie, and it's really good, and I would check it out.
Yeah. One that stood out to me again was Rainbow Kitten Surprises album, How to Friend Love Freefall. This one is kind of on that. It's a fun and interesting listen. The instrumentals are really great. The singer's vocals really stand out, especially on this song called Holy War. But yeah, they don't have a lot of really long songs. They're kind of like under 3 minutes. But yeah, they're just really catchy. They're kind of on that like indie style. This is their third studio album. I think their record label is themselves, so like they record their own albums. So yeah, it's really interesting and really good.
Yeah.
I would
Cool.
check that out.
Three more would be Against All Logic, which is Nicholas Jarre, the electronic producer, electronic music maker. And his album 2012 through 2017, he put this out in like March, just full of these super catchy, super inventive and creative electronic music and beats that just you'd be listening to him for days, and it's good listen. And then Mount Eerie, his new album, Now Only. This is a sad album because of his last album before. He had a lot of sad stuff going on in his life.
Were you playing this album for me that one time, and it was like there's no like rhyme to it. It's just kind of him writing.
Yeah, it's basically like a bunch of stories, a bunch of poetry with these like nice soothing electronic nice soothing acoustic chords going on in the back, and it's really sad, but it's worth a listen to do it. And then Judas Priest's back with Firepower. This album kicks ass. It's so good, and it's just headbanging and hard driving and full of these super creative riffs that I haven't heard them do in years.
They're still kicking.
They're still kicking it.
Yeah, and then another album that came out this year is Mike Ross, Jenny's Place. This is his second album. It's a blues record, so he's a blues artist and guitarist. If you like that like really distorted kind of blues driving and just vocals, you'll really like this album. It's a really great listen. His previous album was called Spindrift, and it was more of this like folky kind of acoustic songwriter stuff, but he threw in kind of that distorted guitar, which really stood out on the album. And I'm glad that for his second one, the whole album is more of that distorted guitar that he does really well with, and it's a really good listen. Yeah, if you're into that.
I think you played that for me before, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Last three I want to mention, The Voids, formerly known as Julian Casablancas and The Voids. Their new album, Virtue, super weird collection of tracks. It's very creative, it's very quirky. A lot of catchy tunes on here that I think you'd enjoy if you gave it a listen. Then we've got a nice collaboration effort, Czarface and MF Doom. Czarface is a rap group, and MF Doom is just this underground, critically acclaimed rapper. And they came together on Czarface Meets Metalface, which is just some creative rap that it's just a good rap listen. Nothing really stands out, but it's just a nice listen all the way through. And then lastly, Sleep came back on 420 with their album The Sciences, and it's just more Sleep, more face-melting solos, more face-melting riffs, trudging along, and a lot of bass grooves, a lot of groovy riffs. It's very good, and if you like Sleep, if you like sludge metal, if you like stoner metal, you're gonna love this record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some albums that came out this year that we haven't talked about, and that if you want to give them a listen, you definitely should.
Yeah. Catch us next time.
Thanks for watching.